Okay, so we've got the Lovers there. Surrender, the Lovers. Okay, the Lovers can be an agreement done by, like people coming together for an agreement. And the surrender to me feels like it's real. Also, the Lovers coming up as the first card down can be a yes, can be a nod to a yes. We've got the Knight of Cups here. I think they believe it is a potential, and I think it's not being done for fear. This doesn't feel like fear porn so far anyway. I haven't seen the fear porn cards. Like, yeah, there's big yeses around it. This is real. This is a real threat, and it's coming. They've seen it. And, you know, I wouldn't doubt if. So Cliff High's seen it in his WebBot data, but I wouldn't doubt if the White Hat Alliance has something similar to WebBot data, because it feels to me Alliance is spiritually connected. And I feel like they have, they understand, you know, they got their pulse on everything that's going on as well. It would be naive to say they didn't with everything we're seeing happen and how much ahead of the scheme they are. Okay. So I believe they already know that's coming. And it's either that or they're listening to Cliff High's Substacks. But I think they got their own intel telling them the same stuff. Okay, or similar things. Okay, so I'm feeling like we got a big yes, it's a real threat, and yes, they're anticipating incidences coming near you, in hospitals near you. So if you are working in hospitals, you're going to need extra protection. Okay. Yep. You're going to need to people are going to need to rethink where they choose to put. I know it's your job and everything, but if all of this blows like it likely will, and all of the systems come down, things like organized pharmaceutical based medicine, so hospitals, okay, are all compromised at top levels. They were all in on killing humanity to the degree of trying to take out 80% of our humanity. Okay, so if you work for an organization like that, the likelihood of you losing your work, okay, the way it's set up, if you're literally, and you can be mad at me that, like, you know, I'm going to accept that. I get it. I can understand this could hurt your feelings even, but those places are likely going to get torn down, as far as like if they were involved in, and they all were, top levels of murdering humans. Okay. An agenda to kill a huge part of the population is not going to go unnoticed by humans, other humans. Eventually, no matter how brainwashed, we're going to figure it out. We've been figuring it out. And that kind of thing means they're at the top levels, infiltrated, and deep state organized things. So they're not based in true health. Okay, so we've known that. Personally, I knew that since a young person. I didn't trust those places. Okay, so even if you mean well and you do good work and you help people exist in those kind of situations, the whole organization, it's like being in a club. Even though you're a good person, your club is demonic. Okay, so there's trouble there. So I'm saying it's going to be interesting. You might want to have a plan B for what you do for work. I'm just saying. I'm sorry if that offends you. I'm just saying. Okay, so you can be a really good person, but you can work for really bad institutions. And that's what's going to happen all over the world. Institutions, somebody working in a church at on some level. Okay, churches. So the top levels of all organized religions are demonic. Okay, I'm oversimplifying, but that's the short and long of it. I don't believe in any organized religions. They're all created to or repress humans. Okay, spirituality is an individual thing. You seek it out personally, understand what your soul is. You don't have to go through doctrines somebody else wrote or somebody else came up with. Okay, all of that was put in place to repress. All of these systems are coming down, you guys. So if you're working for these kind of systems, I'm just saying, the next few years, they're not going to exist. Possibly even by the end of this year. So just saying. Okay. So now we've got the supposed Signal debacle. Okay, so supposedly Signal, some guy was added to Signal. Okay, supposedly. This is hilarious. This is the funniest thing I've heard in a long time, that people actually think this could have happened. Okay, so sensitive information about warlike activities, so secret high sensitive information got leaked. Somebody got added to Signal. Like, okay, just the whole thing is the biggest joke I've ever heard. So what I want to hear from the cards is, what's really going on? Okay, did the Trump administration actually let this happen? Okay, or is this totally fabricated? In which case, we're going to see the magician. We're going to see this strategy card, the Seven of Swords. We're going to see or did the deep state put this one out, in a desperate attempt, the last dregs of the deep state that are still running around, probably like chickens with their heads cut off, just trying to make these guys look bad. And who even would believe something as stupid as that? Oh, Signal, shared deep secret war activity by the Trump administration. Come on. Okay. A whole bunch of people emailed me about this, even people that are otherwise don't like Trump at all. And they were all like, ha, see, blah, blah. And it's like, serious, you bought that? You actually think that might be true. But anyway, so let's have a look at, what do the cards want to say about that situation? And if it really was true, I'll tell you. But I'm just telling you my opinion. And yeah, maybe you don't care about my opinion. You just want to know the cards, but I'm going to share it anyway, because I'm a Taurus and we love sharing our opinions. Okay, let's have a look. But sometimes the cards don't agree with me, in which case, yeah, I guess we're going to find out. Oh, hang on. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna shuffle that again because a phone call was coming in. Let's have a look, and that shuts off my card view. There we go. So we've got the Sun and the Strength. So whatever really was going on is not really out there. Okay, so that's interesting. Somehow this relates to the financial system or children, or what's happening with children, or both. Weird. Okay, so the whole thing feels like it has nothing to do with, see, both of these cards are what they're trying to achieve in the public eye, and they're both held up cards. So they're trying to hold something up and get ready for something else. So this maybe gets a whole bunch of people's attention and leads us to something else completely different. This is definitely telling us that the Trump administration isn't compromised, and whatever they did it for a reason. They chose to do this. So I feel like they were orchestrating this whole thing, and it's going to lead us to something else, somehow involving the financial world, or I have no idea how that is. Okay, so I'm just trying to read the cards here, or something to do with children, or both. Maybe the financial world and how the trafficking of children affects it, because it definitely does. I feel like what'll eventually take down our systems, one of the systems, including like financial system, is going to be how it's turned a blind eye, the system itself, the big banks, etc., turned a blind eye to how people are, and in particular governments and organizations, trafficking humans and body parts, and actually moving their money through these big institutions. And, these guys aren't catching them, or turning a blind eye to that, and where's the money really coming from, or being even funded by it. But anyway, so nothing, like, I feel like they did this on purpose, and they're going to lead people in a different direction with the information, or they're holding up to get to something completely different. So the whole reason they did it, so it feels like there's a reason why they did it, and it'll be revealed soon, but not necessarily, we don't know exactly right now why they did it. Okay, so yeah, it's an orchestrated thing. It's an orchestrated, and there's another money card. So this is really weird. It eventually leads us to something financial. So honestly, I have no idea how that is. We probably need Jean-Claude to ask the right questions here. This is why I love working with them. Okay, so I'm going to just leave it here because he might be able to find the link, and then maybe we'll look into this in our Beyond the News. But there's something financial linked to this. None of it, of course, is about actually they leaked information. It looks like it's about something totally different, and they're just kind of trying to get everybody's attention over somewhere. Maybe they're going to use that audience to move it in a whole different direction. That's kind of how it looked like. Okay. Let's see. Will RFK Jr., so Robert, I don't know his middle name, Kennedy, end the vax agenda on children in the US. Okay, so he's been talking about it. He's been leading up to and outing a lot of his opinions and ideas about and truths about how it seems to me he seems to believe that vaccination in general to children is dangerous, could even lead to all kinds of the things we're seeing as problems with children, including sudden death syndrome, etc., are because of these vaxes. Okay, so he's really put a lot of information out there and backed a lot of interesting people that are putting information out there about stuff like that. Okay, but he hasn't actually, and I'm sure he has the power to, I would assume he does, shut down that child vax. But he's been kind of talking about it, threatening it. Will he actually do it, and when? So that's a waiting and waiting. Both those cards wait. Both those cards wait on something. He will, though. He will. Yeah, he will. You've got an ace and this child card in the background. So he's definitely very concerned about children. And that seems to be his brand is, okay? Because I don't even know if that's the original guy, honestly. I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know. Or he's really come over to the good, because I don't think he was always the best guy. I know he had some issues. Okay, but certainly the cards really like him these days and say he's really on board with the whole program. He's definitely putting children first in the US, absolutely. Okay, but this card says in time he will. Okay, but they're just going to talk about it for a while longer. And something else is going to come out before they do this. So this is party substance secrets, deep secrets about what adrenochrome, something kept really deeply secret. I feel like that's something that might need to come out before all of these other things can get, like, that would put everything at a screeching halt if people, actually normal everyday people just watching news and stuff, found out that adrenochrome was a real thing and that they actually do that. They do that amount of torture and actually collect adrenochrome from children, kill children for a substance that's used to party with and keep elites young. Okay, I feel like that would shut a lot of things down, but that seems to be priority somehow. And this other stuff, he's just getting it all ready because that'll eventually, I think that'll go down with when systems come down with the way they've structured hospitals, the way because they're the ones who usually, give the kids the jabs, right? And or doctors so the way they've structured the healthcare and the hospital systems in the US, I feel like that all has to crash. It's dangerous for humans. It's actually dangerous to go in one of those. Honestly, I've thought that for a really long time, but a lot of people found that out in the last 5 or 6 years. It's literally dangerous. You're taking your life in your hands, really. And I'm not exaggerating. Okay, let's see what else we got here. So yes, he's going to do it eventually, but there's other things going to come first that have way more clout. Now, this is about the Argentinian ruler, a head guy in Argentina. I can't remember his name. The president, right? That guy. Okay, release of Nazi files. When and what can we expect? Okay, when and what? By the way, I believe that guy's likely that famous comedian that supposedly died. What was that guy's name? He was in, well, he was in lots of things. You guys know who I'm talking about. Who does this guy look like and sound like? Okay, so that comedian who everybody loved, who was really funny, almost sad funny, that guy, okay, and supposedly killed himself not too long ago. Okay, I believe that guy didn't die and is playing this guy. Okay, so you guys fill in who I'm talking about because you're probably saying it out loud while you're watching this. Yeah, because I cannot come up with the name right now. Okay, let's have a look. So is this the Nazi files being released? So what apparently happened was a whole bunch of the Nazi head guys actually fled to South America, okay, and likely Argentina in particular, apparently, and set up a whole bunch of their horrific experiments there. There's a whole town, apparently, that has hundreds and hundreds of twins in it, okay, because they were doing human experiments and created probably a bunch of clones. It's probably not even twins. It could be cloning. Like they continued all of the horrific human experiments there. And then a whole lot of those people, scientists, if you can call them that, demonic minded creeps, doing weird experiments on humanity, okay, ended up coming back through Argentina back into the United States. And I think it's called Project Paperclip or something. But anyway, it's a famous, it's famously a conspiracy that is obviously a true one, in my opinion. Okay, so what we're wondering is this guy going to out all of that? Okay, because such a well-known kid. It's almost as well-known as nobody really did land on the moon, certainly not the US. At least the moon landing, like maybe they do go to the moon, okay, but it wasn't anything like the fake moon landing. That was all fake. Okay, almost everybody seems to know that. And almost everybody knows 9/11 was totally done inside. That was an inside job. That was done by, anyway. We won't get into that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It was nothing like how they presented it. Okay, they did it against their own people. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Argentina release of Nazi files. What is that? What does the universe say about that? Basically, we're just going really general. So we've got the Emperor. And so it looks like whoever that guy is, he's totally a white hat, or he's part of the organization that's the Trump brand White Hat Alliance. Okay, and here we've got the Hierophant. Okay, so what are they going to do? They're going to out that whole group was deep state. Okay, so instead of it being Hitler run, it was very likely. And another time, I'm going to do a deep dive on what really happened in World War too, because I don't think a lot of it's true. Okay, I think a lot of bad things happened, but I feel like things got taken over and the deep state utilized the energies of Hitler, okay, keeping him drugged on a drug cocktail, and he had handlers, like his wife was probably a handler, etc. Okay, and they used him, his brand, just like they use lots of people's brands. There's the bad guys now, and so the Khazarian mafia, they used him for all kinds of. They just set him up basically, and a whole bunch of what's been talked about World War II is a lie. I now have come to believe that. Okay, but I'm not sure. I haven't really talked to the cards about it because, that's not something. I just feel like that's a whole show to do. I would need Jean-Claude to help me with the questions on that, and a lot of we're gonna need at least an hour to do a show like that, and we will eventually. Okay, but anyway, so this card looks like, so what it really they're gonna do is, what you will find out is that some of what I just said is true. Deep state Khazarian mafia, that's who really was in charge of World War II. Okay, so they took it out of Hitler's hands. He might have started, or maybe they MK altered him right from the get-go. I don't know. I haven't done the cards on it, but he was nothing, certainly not the big main brains behind it. Okay, it was basically a Khazarian mafia. It got taken over and became that, and or it was from the get-go. I'm not sure, but it was definitely a deep state project, a project that was again another way to kill off a bunch of people, right? And then of course they also utilized it to get everybody tippy-toeing around, even going near or saying anything bad about Jewish people, okay? Because don't forget, Khazarian mafia hide behind sort of some made-up form of, or sort of sect of Judaism, otherwise known as Zionists, okay? So, and they made everybody, like they used that whole situation to totally, like they look way ahead on these things. And so they got it so nobody could ever say anything against Jewish people because they were so persecuted, supposedly, right? Yeah, yet so many people were killed, but they weren't killed very likely in gas chambers. The whole gas chamber thing's been debunked, but nobody will, admittedly admit that, because the wooden doors on the gas chambers would have never kept the amount of gas it would have taken to kill that many people. Like it's been debunked. They made that shit up, guys. Like, really? Okay, but yeah, a whole bunch of people did die, and a lot of them were Jewish, okay? But it was who really killed them, what really happened, how did they really die, and how many really, okay? So there's all of that, but nobody wants to touch it, or it hasn't been touched for years, and I get it. It's tricky to even talk about it. I couldn't even talk about it till just now. Honestly, I was worried to talk about it, right? It's a worrisome thing because you can get called all kinds of names and stuff. Not that I don't really care about people do have called me names my whole life because of what I do for a living, but that's not really it just wasn't a good thing to talk about in public yet. But I feel like we're getting to a time, and I feel like this is going to really help when we can really name who really did what, where. And I'm not trying to say Hitler was a good guy. I'm not saying that at all. I feel like they took him and MK altered him and or kept him drugged and just used his into like his beginning. He might have started the whole thing, or maybe they had him right from the get-go. I don't know. And then they just utilized his brand and faked you out about what was really going on. And by the way, I believe that Winston Churchill is absolutely a deep state, absolutely Khazarian mafia player. Very likely the father of Queen Elizabeth, by the way. Like they probably took his DNA and created the monster that became, like, she might have started out as a nice little girl once, but then was totally MK Ultra brought up and or twisted somehow, and or at some point became taken over by demonics, like literally reptilians. Anyway, I sound like a raving crazy, but for reals, Winston Churchill was likely the DNA they used for her. Okay, Queen Elizabeth. So yeah, it's crazy, right? But anyway, and he was definitely a Khazarian mafia scumbag, like like a whole bunch of people involved in that war who seemed to be good guys were probably the bad guys. So yeah, it's like a total lie. All the wars in the world are total lies. Okay, just saying. Anyway, so yeah, it's gonna come out. It's gonna be really hard for people to believe. This is going to take time. They're gonna have to roll it out a few different times. This is going to be something that takes a really long time for people to actually believe. Okay, a lot of people will not believe it. So they're gonna have to take their sweet time. And I feel like by July, we're deep in the thick of talking about this and trying to sort this out. So it's rolled out, it looks like, between now and somehow July, and there's a lot of conversation about it going on. I get this as a July card, in the near future. And also we've got the Empress as the near future outcome. I'm trying to figure, but she's kind of badly aspected. So the Empress can be, people might assume, so this is what the public will assume, or how they'll see it. They might assume that the Argentine guy has fiddled with the files or something. I feel like a lot of people might think he did it for his own, somehow, his own sake, and not, maybe a lot of people might have trouble believing it because they'll think he's just somehow gaining something from it, when in fact, he's part of the white hat, and he's, this is to out, or start the conversation about what really happened in World War II. So yeah, a lot of things are going to be outed to start conversations and get everybody looking at rabbit holes, not really just for smoking guns and get the whole truth, because it'll be so convoluted, right? But it'll just get you thinking about how everything in your history's a lie. Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching. Love ya. Sending y'all ravens. Bye-bye.
To be in that tribe, to find that tribe, to connect with them. Because again, if we're going to see all of this big change, we're going to be around like-minded people in order to go through that change unscathed, but we're also going to want to be in community to maybe have a leg up and to come on the other side even stronger and make sure that those changes are in fact representative of what humankind wants moving forward. So what's the advice there on that?
Well, this is interesting. Here we are. So this is spiritually searching, and we know we're missing something. Yeah. And maybe this is why we're missing it. I feel like we were encouraged to go away from tribe.
Yeah.
Okay. So families were split up, extended families. It was encouraged that people move away at a younger age and culturally, go have your own place at like 18, 19. Like I was paying rent at 18, 19 years old, having moved away. I moved to Calgary to go to art college, and I was paying rent for a basement suite at that age.
Yeah.
And getting a part-time job while going to art college. So by 19, so the first year at 17, I was living in my aunt's basement suite. So I forget how much that was, but it was really cheap because my aunt was really kind and she also fed me. But then I was on my own, maybe by 18 or 19, so that's, but in lots of countries, that's unheard of. You stay at home till you're married. But they really encouraged in North America to split everybody up earlier. So now there's a whole bunch of households paying rent. They're making way more money that way. All of these people are they're not sharing food costs. And so they did all of this work to break up families and tribes.
Yeah.
Family groups, even like that's been going on for many, many years, where they've been sort of discouraging that, especially in the West, I would say, and Europe. In the UK and places like that. And see the devil here? So that was the plan of maybe the overlords, was to get as many people paying and as many people, like, and everyone living individually, because and then they're all buying their own groceries, and like makes for a lot more money income to businesses.
Not just that, it isolates people, and then they're more easily programmed and duped by the narrative. When you're in a
Yeah,
solid tribe, you're not going to get duped by anybody. So
yeah,
yeah, that's a good point
yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah. So here we've got the chariot. So there's an awakening here, and we've got a lot of help waking up. I think Q's helping a lot. I think this community's helping a lot. So there's help to wake up. It's also can be about spiritual. So this is a spiritual guide. Kind of there's spiritual guides guiding this person, even though they don't realize it. So I feel like right now we're in a quickening. This could be a quickening card to really wake up spiritually. Coming from that Queen of Wands, she's a woo. She's also intuitive. She's the rebel gene. So we're coming from that. Then we were all broken up. And that was the plan of the bad guys. You know what I mean? And it's going to take work. It's actually going to take work. You're going to have to make a conscious effort to turn that around. Okay. Like if you're sitting in a city, like nobody even wants to know their neighbors or talk to them, or it's different in different places. Where I am, people just stop in.
Right.
People just stop in. They're going by. They know I live, like friends of mine, they know I live there. People I call tribe. They just stop in. It's like, yeah, it's great. And you're looking forward to it. Like, yay, somebody's going to stop in. Whereas in the city, I'd be like, what? Who's at the door? I wonder who, there's that, it's that comedian did that comedy skit about that, where back in the day, you used to be so excited when company came. And now everybody's ducking, turning off the lights. Did you invite someone over? Did you invite? Anyway, so here we got, so it's going to take.
What's that comedian's name? He says, no, I'm shedding. I don't want new friends. We're shedding friends. That guy?
I can't remember that guy's name.
Okay, whatever.
But see this card here. So we've got 10 and the 3 of Swords. I think there's going to be some time between. And also some real big healing work. We're going to have to face a lot of healing work and face the fact that we were all separated. And then it's going to take work to work towards building those relationships again. And it's not going to come just simply or easily.
Yeah. So do you want to do advice on how to find those pockets and find your people and maybe encourage people to do so? Because again, if you look at my kids, they're kind of shy to get out there. They're kind of shy to meet new people. They're very secluded, I guess. So we need to break out of that bubble that was programmed here by the devil for us. What's the advice on how to get out of all of this?
Working on self-esteem. This guy defends his right to be. So he's sovereign, independent, and defending his right to have his opinion. So the more we get out of the woke sort of mind mentality, where it's not okay to, like, you have to be okay with all of these agendas that were fed to you, spoon-fed to you by the government. Not even the general population's even agreeing with it, but you think they are because the media is telling you everybody's doing it. Well, no, they're not. Like all the woke stuff. No, they're not. And when companies even go in those directions, they lose business. So what does that tell you? So it's not popular, but they're telling you it is. We're seeing that with all the Canadians being told that Mark Carney is like our next guy and everybody likes him. No, they don't. He's being outed constantly for a big deep state or WEF. Are you kidding me? That he'd be the last guy we'd want. Okay. But we're being told that. So some people still fall for that. So we're going to need to get more stand our ground and don't back down just because you think it's unpopular, even in your family. Okay. I just started doing that actually last night. For the first time, I had a breakthrough where in a conversation, I didn't back down and I went, no, this has to be said. Nope, it's not. I'm not tippy-toeing around, not one more second.
Yeah.
Okay. And I feel like that time's coming for everybody. We can't tippy-toe around what we know anymore. And then this 2 of Wands going in a whole new direction, but bring into the conversation the positive elements and how things will change in the vision of what that change might look like.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to bring that into the conversation. Okay. And also go out, like visualize it first. Start speaking it out. This guy creates his world by visualizing, intending, and believing it's possible. Right. So start talking about, I'm going to meet my community. I'm going to call to me a really good group of friends. I'm going to, start talking about it as if it's true. And then it becomes true. The universe hears you and goes, oh, I guess we got to send her tribe or their tribe because you're already creating it. So
Right.
if you speak about it, you eventually bump into it. If you believe it's true, it'll eventually become true. You're creating your destiny that way. I feel like we need to start doing that too.
You know how also, leave the cards there, maybe this will help, but during COVID, you and I did a poll or two. This was maybe 6 months into it, so early 2020, something like that. And we had that the 6 feet rule had nothing to do with science of preventing disease or transfer or anything like that, that they were actually trying to prevent some type of scalar effect between humans to where we share our energetic field together. So not only have we been separated, the families have been separated, we've been separated with the technology, perhaps with the food, perhaps with the chemtrail, all of this, like a full spectrum attack. When it came to COVID, on top of that, we needed to be apart from each other, and we couldn't be more than 4 or 5 in a household like Christmas. I mean, they went really, really far to try to separate us. We're seeing that system break down now. I'm seeing more and more people now, adults. I think kids still might have some issues with COVID and some of the mental breaks maybe that happen in their development here during COVID and that separation. But I'm seeing adults now being more open about yearning for being in community, in contact with each other. It's no longer a bad word, even though they might have been normies and they might have accepted the separation and the 6 feet apart thing during COVID. Today, they're longing for that community. What do you think made that change, Janine? Do you want to do 2 extra clarifiers on that? Like, what is that? Energies from space? Is that something that was coming up in our DNA? And was that why they were fighting so hard with the jab and also the 6 feet apart to kind of separate us from whatever this change could be happening right now organically within the community? What do you see?
Well, this is kind of funny. A government change for the better.
Well, that too. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Showing us that it could happen.
Yeah.
Raising a lot of people's spirits that, like they know in their heart that the other people were not even remotely like doing their work. And like the other group in the US was not even, there's no contest. And it would have been so depressing if, again, the deep state had won. Once again, it would have crushed everybody's spirits. It really lifted everybody's spirits. That's a victory card to see the victory of some common sense.
Finally. Yeah.
Common sense. And could we have some? And then we got like RFK talking actual common sense and good health ideas and healthy ideas that just make sense. Like we've all been craving some common sense. Could we please? Yeah. Like I'm just getting so sick of delusional speak.
Well, speaking about common sense, Trump and Elon Musk purportedly now are suggesting that they do some type of return back to taxpayers of all of this money that they're repatriating and that went to all these false accounts of $4.7 trillion that went missing or unaccounted for. As they're grabbing this money, they're looking at giving it back. And I was like, wow, wasn't it Greenland that did something like that too? When they put all the bankers in jail, they sold all the assets and they dispersed it back to the population. I mean, wow, common sense.
Common sense.
It's our money to begin with. It was our taxpayer money. So yeah, that's great news, JC. Janine, I really appreciate that. JC, your mic sounds great. No blips or dropouts tonight, Willow says. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I think we fixed the issue the other night, so I appreciate that. Hey, I got a special guest with us. Meg, how's it going?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing well. I was just watching your As Above, So Below with Ashala just before the show. So that was a great show. Thank you so much for being on. I asked you to be on tonight, Mick, because we're talking about how basically we've been messed with for a number of decades here to separate us, and how with the advent of what you guys were talking about here today with the Navigating the Woo episode, it seems to me that we need to find ways now to refine our tribe, to refine community, to redefine what that means to us, because we're on the precipice of huge changes, and we need to come together for support and also to have our say in what that new world looks like. So I really appreciate your new Navigating the Woo series here on Rumble. But you said something to me, I think it was Sunday night or Monday night, we had a staff meeting with Janine and the crew, and you were talking about one or two readings that you had, and you were perplexed and kind of surprised at some of the comments about what people were fearing right now. So I'm like, oh, actually, that falls in right into the show here tonight. So can you share that with the audience, without giving personal information or who you were talking about, but share that context with the audience, Meg?
Yeah, I've been hearing, I think it's been 2 or 3 people as of late saying they're a little bit nervous to come to the Beyond Mystic conference, and they might actually just email Sarah to cancel the ticket. And I said, no, you cannot do that, because this is going to be once in a lifetime, very, very special. And this is not only that, is it going to be an amazing event that you and Janine and Sarah put on, but this is exactly what we need to be doing. As woosters, as like-minded people, as light workers. I was just listening a few minutes before I just came on, and exactly what you said, JC, they tried so hard during the pandemic to separate us. You could only be around, this many people. It was complete bullshit, because we've been disconnected from the community, how we used to live in communities and tribes, which were so lacking. And I really think that's one of the main reasons why we're so sick, actually, mentally, physically, spiritually, is because we've lost that community. We've lost that tribe. So it can feel very uncomfortable, and for some people, nerve-wracking. I've never personally felt that. I don't know about you, Janine or JC, but I've never had like social anxiety or anything like that. But if you do have that as an issue, know that you're coming to completely supportive community and people that are like-minded, and it's actually going to be really, really fun.
Well, maybe you went a little bit too far, because a few people are saying, who the hell is afraid to come to the conference, and why? The Crazy Toaster is asking, and Hey Mama says, oh my God, would it be mind-blowing to cancel? What would I give to be able to go? Why was the person nervous or trepidatious joining the conference? You missed that part, and I think it's crucial here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for a couple people, it's a mix of things. The plane incidents lately is one thing. Just the unknown of not knowing anybody, right? Some people coming by themselves. They don't know anybody like-minded. So, okay, how am I going to go to this conference and it's going to be amazing with these like-minded? They've never had an experience like this before.
Right. So part of it's self-esteem, worried about not knowing anybody, not making friends. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I remember when I went down this path and started becoming a hermit and learning about all this stuff and going to rabbit holes, it was a very self-limited kind of thing, because you lose all your friends. If they're not in the woo, they're like, okay, they kind of disappear off your radar, and it becomes very lonely. And I remember with Sarah, a couple of years into it, we went into this spiritual retreat somewhere in Sedona, and then suddenly like, whoa, all these people think like me. This is great. So we were immediately like finishing each other's sentences, and we made friends forever. So no, it's absolutely the contrary, guys. If you're worried about that and not meeting friends, I'm telling you, you're going to meet a lot of friends, like-minded people, and you'll never have that feeling again. If you go to other conferences, you will, but it's so powerful to be in that community and feel that frequency field, just what we were talking before you were in the show, that energy field between people, that scalar effect of all the woo people in one place at one time, that is huge. You've done conferences before, Meg. What's that feeling like? Share that.
Well, that's whenever someone's nervous, like in this case, the people that have been a little bit hesitant to come to the conference or some retreats or events I've hosted in the past, I've always just said right off the bat that the most blissful experiences of my life have been when I've been with like-minded community in drumming circles, dancing, conferences, like-minded event. like reaching levels of bliss, literally. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat today, that I haven't felt anywhere else. Because, you know, when we're around our normie friends and families and we're in the day-to-day of the matrix, we're actually doing work at all times, even if we're not quote unquote working. And there's a lot of energy that we're processing physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Whereas when we're just with like-minded people, that I consider us to all be soul family. Don't know about you guys, but it's not work. It's just being, it's comfort, and it's actually blissful. So that's been my experience.
Okay, very good. Janine, what do you say? There's one or two people in the chat who says, yeah, that would be me. I'd be nervous to be in a group right now and maybe being alone and having to meet new friends. So there's a few people still have that sentiment. What would you say to them? And you can pull cards also if you want for advice. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm maybe the wrong person to ask, because I'm actually kind of an extrovert.
Yeah.
I'm an introvert and an extrovert all at the same time. So I love going all by myself to coffee shops and just talking to whoever's there.
Yeah.
Right. But I love, like, I'll find, like, if I overhear a big loud conversation in a coffee shop, I'll join in the conversation. If you're talking loud, I assume that this is for public conversation then.
Right,
so I'm
right.
jumping in it. Okay. And like, so I'm a bit funny. So I absolutely love going by myself to things, and even movies and movie theater by myself. I love it, because if you're going to a certain movie and no one wants to go, but you go because you love the movie, you think it'd be good, you're going to be sitting with a bunch of people who thought the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So just start talking to them. But again, lots of people don't have that kind of sort of brave energy that I have. But another thing is, I watched people that maybe weren't as brave as me when I was in the US there on the Truther Tour. I watched people make really great friends, and afterwards even continue the friendships. Mm-hmm. So complete strangers sitting next to each other, and the feeling that you're in a group of people that hold the very same values. Like, for sure, you don't have to worry about what you're going to say. You're in a group. So you might have a whole bunch of other things not in common, but you absolutely have your value in common. The value that you value freedom, that you value truth.
Yeah.
And you have some of the same ideas, because you ended up at that exact Truther Tour or conference in our case. So as far as I'm concerned, you're going to be in a whole group of however many are sitting around you. That's your tribe. You just found it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's do a poll on what those notes are going to feel like, or what those feelings are going to be being in that tribe in the Beyond Mystic conference. For those of them who are still kind of on the fence of what that looks like, let's do a poll of the frequency that we can hit together when we're in person. I remember just the impromptu one we did in Ottawa at that Lone Star restaurant, and it was like through the roof, and everybody in the restaurant was like, who the hell are those people? I want some of that. What are they having? Anyways, it was kind of cool. So yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, so this is leading up. Things have been so hard. So the last couple of years, like, we've had things so hard. We're literally been in the war.
Yeah.
We're part of it. We're part of this is a war we're in, and we're soldiers in it. Everybody. Okay. So that could be what Meg was hearing from these people. Unnecessary fearing, right? Because they've felt isolated. They don't know what to expect. And these are just a few people. It's not going to be everybody. Some people, but a lot of people are coming with already somebody they know, okay. But these are for the ones that are feeling apprehensive, right? So this is an unnecessary fear, and it's very understandable that you're feeling that way. What with everything in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Leading up even. This has been crazy. Right from the very 1st of January, it's been like a year that you're like, what? Right? Because all the crazy stuff going on. Okay, but now this is interesting. So here now, this is how you're feeling going in here. Now you got there. Now you're enjoying the conference. I think it'll bring out the warrior. It's going to bring, so this guy's like his youth youthful, powerful. So wands are spiritual, integral, but also fire energy and warrior. So I feel like we might even be able to pump each other up to go back into our lives and look at these cards. This is a riot. I feel like we're going to go back into our lives and be more engaged and more the warriors. It's like it's going to give us energy to go forward and even make some really great heartfelt connections. But this is like kind of like, it's almost like it's going to pump our tires. Pump our tires.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. You're breaking up. What's the word you're looking for?
Pump our tires.
Pump our tires, yeah, or up level you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Fascinating. What do you make of that, Meg? You were laughing when you saw the last cards drop.
Yeah, I love just, Janine, how you do your readings. And it's so much wands, right? So it's like action too, and life force energy. What you're saying, we're going to be re-inspired, right? Going back home. And we're not trying to make fun of anybody. It's just, it's understandable that some of you guys may be feeling that hesitancy, because also it's a miracle we don't all feel that hesitancy after the amount of brainwashing that we've all received at all times from literally every facet of life, through the TVs, through the smartphones, through the, advertisement posters everywhere, just to be in your own life, and not be a part of the community, not be a part of the group. So this is going to be really healing for everyone in there in person, and also taking part online in the community that isn't able to buy a ticket for whatever reason. We're anchoring in that Aquarian frequency.
Yeah.
Community.
I'm excited. Somebody says, hey, could you consider doing a video? Actually, we are. Peace Guy says, yes, I can't be there in person, but at least I have the video package. Yeah, guys, if you go check it out, there is a few remaining tickets for the online streaming pass also. There is a cap on that because of the bandwidth capability at the hotel, but there's still some available. This will give you 3 full days of access to all the workshops, the conferences, the keynotes, the after-hour parties. All the stuff is all going to be recorded, and you can participate live. There's going to be some interactive sessions also with Q&As for you guys watching. So quite a lot of money there in terms of workshops for you at that price. So check it out. The last couple of tickets, they're available. And, a couple of months ago, Janine and I had done a show, and people were a little bit disappointed that we had run out or sold out of the VIP pass and the Mystic pass. I think they were sold out within a couple of days of us launching the conference. And we had told you guys that we were holding on to a handful of each just to get to the end of our planning here, to make sure we had enough for all of our guest speakers, for the keynote speakers, for their wives, their husbands, and all that stuff. And we're pretty much there now. Like, all of the booths are almost sold out, and the guest speakers on the schedule are done. So we are going to be releasing tonight a handful of each of these 2 categories, the VIP pass and the Mystic pass. Just earlier today, another gentleman sent an email to Sarah, hey, can I still buy a VIP pass? I really want a VIP pass and all that's included. So this is your chance. I'm going to do that live for you guys. I'm just going to refresh the page here, update this one, and update this one. And guys, first come, first serve. I'm not sure how quickly these will go, but again, just a handful of them. There's not that many left. The venue is pretty much at capacity for our event, and we're excited to do that. So let me try to refresh that page. It should come up now as yellow. Yes. So there you go. So they're now available. There's a couple there for you guys to check out. And of course, there's only a few left also of the general admission pass. So check that out. And while you're there also, I wanted to bring your attention to the exhibitor page as well. So Janine and I, through Coco this week, have been interviewing a bunch of people who applied to come to the conference. And oh my God, Janine, so many exciting new people are coming up. And I'm going to have to say no to some people, I guess, because there's so much interest, but they're so interesting. Different healing modalities, different artisans, There's still time, guys, and we still haven't locked all the rest of the booths. There's a couple available. Meg is also going to be there with her crystals. I'm excited about that. So we're going to have a really cool crystal shop there on the site for you guys. Congratulations, Meg, for snagging up that particular booth. But if you guys are interested in that and you think you want to be part of this community and you want to showcase your services, your talents, your products, there's still time. So go to beyondmystic.net/exhibitor. You'll find the link on the top of the page, and you can fill out the form below and let us know what you're interested in. And we have a couple packages there listed available for you guys. And to some extent, we could customize them as well. Some people have asked us to customize 2 packages together, and we'll have the flexibility to do that. So I'm encouraged by how many people want to share and come to this community. And maybe this is where I want you to do another poll also on this, Janine. Going back to community is one thing. Going back to tribe right now is very important. But I think what you guys are getting at in the navigating the woo, and what you were just getting in the chat right now in your last card poll, is that we need more self-esteem. And that means that at some point here too, we have to put ourselves out there. So many of you have left the matrix over the last number of years. You've started Reiki classes, you started tarot classes or astrology classes, but you're still kind of trepidatious about putting yourself out there and actually offering those services and truly embodying that new energy and that new career for yourself. So maybe, Janine, let's do a poll on that. How do we encourage people, give them that up-leveling here, and perhaps them seeing that the Beyond Mystic Conference with that great community as a reception might be the best stepping stone for them to do just that, to come out into the open and share their new gifts with their community. That worry card again.
Yeah, that's unnecessary worry. So a lot of the concerns are going to be the exact opposite. Okay, because what you have is an audience already that only want to work with other like-minded people, only want to spend their dollars with people that are doing integral things that support your life, your personal spiritual growth, your personal health growth, whatever it is, right? So you have the audience for it that exactly will be the most receptive, okay, if it's at this conference that you're going to step out. And just in general, stepping out at this time in life, like years ago when Jean-Claude and I first got started, we got that the woo community was going to be the step out community in the world. Like everything was going to move in the direction of people. Think about it. If officialdom's going down, which we know it is, and we've already seen it happening. Okay, look at all those people in the US losing their officialdom jobs. Okay, the ones that were literally just wasting people's time and money. Mm-hmm. Okay, like people were okay to sit in a job with no integrity. Okay, and I'm sorry that they lost their job, but your soul didn't come all the way to the earth plane, birthing in a physical body, all the treacherous things that can happen to you here physically in a body, to sit around in a little safe job and really not use your full ability. Mm. Your soul didn't agree to that. Nobody's soul agrees to that. You want to express your true talents and abilities. The spirit world demands it. Okay. And I feel like every human here is leveling up, and we can't just get away with sitting around on some government job paycheck, twiddling our thumbs, or even if we're working hard, but the government agency we're working for, or the healthcare agency actually turns out they're deep state, dark cult, and against humanity. Okay, if you find that out, and you're still okay to sit there on that job, you deserve to get tossed. Yeah. Okay, that's not supporting our current day humanity and where we want to go as humans. The whole world's leveling up, you guys. Spiritually, all humans need to level up. This is a quantum leap time, and we're not going to get away with just coasting through life, not paying attention, and not doing our best work here. So everybody's waking up, and it's time for the woo community. If you have a talent and ability, there's no better time to showcase it. You will be received. There's going to be desperate need for it. Even all of the people that did things to themselves over all of these years and all the stuff that's been done to us, we need clearing out of that. So if you find a healing talent that you have, you need to be sharpening it up and put it out there, people. This is the time to do that. Even if it's healing through artwork, even if you just want to express what just happened in the last 5 years and paint about it, write about it, do poetry about it, sing, make songs up about it. People are going to want to hear it because everybody went through the same experience on the whole earth plane. We all noticed that something wasn't right. The whole world. We have an audience from every corner of the earth, and all of those people have the one thing in common. We noticed that something's not right here, and we all noticed it together. Mm-hmm. And some people already knew many years ago, and I tip my hats to those people. Okay, but all of us now need to find what we really, our soul really came here to do. And there's no just, you can't just sit on a government job that is as a fraudulent job, even if you were good at it and you liked your job. Okay, it's called integrity. You have to look at, if you belong to a club that's doing evil, dark things, even if you didn't know about it, as soon as you find out about it, you got to split, or right. You're part of it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the time, and there's no, even if you're shy about it or whatever, just take little tiny baby steps towards it. Just tiny baby steps, like start daily, even giving yourself a mantra that says, every day I get closer to, first of all, knowing what my true purpose and work is. And then every day I'm open to the universe taking my feet and stepping me there. Just agree to that, and the universe will help you get there. You're part of that universe. So spiritually, your soul, as soon as it knows you're willing, will help you walk over there. Okay, mm-hmm. That's all. Just take those tiny baby steps. A daily mantra that says you agree to whatever the universe wants to guide you, and you'll know when you see it. Just say that until it becomes true.
Yeah. I can't stress that enough, guys. And I want to ask Meg also her experience dropping into the Beyond Mystic community. It's nerve-wracking to put yourself out there to do this work. But how was the reception when you got here the first time and you did that first show with Janine and I? Share that experience, because that's the feeling people are going to get if it's their first time getting into the woo and offering their products and services to this community. They need to know what that feels like. What was it for you, Meg?
Well, I always believe, me personally, that we get tested when we make a big decision in life and when we're going to up level, and we get tested. So when you invited me, JC, after I posted videos on my YouTube, after I lost all my clients, my family thought I was fucking crazy. Okay, I'm in my family's house. They might hear me saying that right now, but yeah, they thought I was freaking nuts. Everyone thought I was nuts. I was in my Saturn return, and I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to full-time do my astrology, and I'm going to put these videos out there on my YouTube anyways. And you know what's funny is I was really uncomfortable to do the astrology of Justin Trudeau / Castro YouTube video, but something told me, just put that out, and Meg, speak your truth. And that's the video that JC watched and decided to do an interview with me based off of.
Yeah.
And then when I came on to do the first show with you guys, I was actually not feeling well because of my moon time. I was actually really not feeling well, but it was also a test of, you just got to do it. Yeah. You just have to do it. And I get asked all the time, people say, oh, Meg, some people want to be an astrologer and a tarot reader or a healer, whatever alternative. And they say, how do you do it? I can't do that. I say, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I never thought I would be good enough to be a professional astrologer, having psychic mediums and astrologers in my family that are really, really advanced. But once I just said, you know what, this is actually what I'm passionate about, and I am good at it. I'm not an expert. I haven't been doing it for 100 years in this lifetime, but I'm just going to do it. Then the clients come in, the opportunities open up, your own confidence attracts the vibration. So I would just say, just freaking do it. And sometimes you have to invest to do it as well, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
coming to the conferences, right? Like an investment of your time, investment of some money as well. But we are the way showers of this new age, and we all have our gifts. We all have our talents, and our confidence is very, very important, stepping out of the programming. And, you know, with us, Janine and I were talking about it earlier in the Navigating the Woo show, that after we get out of all this Pisces influence, finally, after 2025, going into 2026, it's Aries. It's Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Aries. It's like a huge stellium of planets in Aries, which is fearlessness and action. And we have our JC here, our leader, who is at 0 degrees Aries. Hope you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
I don't see JC fearless. I don't see you, you know, oh, I don't know about this show. I don't know about this, you know, service. You just do it.
Mm-hmm.
You create the website, you create the show, you do it. You put it out there.
Yeah.
Even if you know there might be something that might have a little bit of backlash, right? It's like you do it, feel it in the heart, and you're passionate about it. So I would say, you guys,
even when officialdom was trying to prevent me from doing it a couple of times,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Fuck you, I'm doing it anyways."
Yeah.
No, that's. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yes, fearless is the word, and I hope that rubs off on you guys. If you're listening to this and you were debating, hey, you know, do I want to start my new practice, my new service, my new products? Try the Beyond Mystic community. They're very loving. They're so supportive, and you'll fit right in. And at the same time, I have to say, it's not just a conference, because if you get seen at the conference, who knows? That might lead to you having a show. It might lead to you being on the academy teaching something later on. Beyond Mystic is growing and growing and growing every day. So if you want to be part of that, come check us out at the conference. At the very least, come have a ticket, see what it's all about. Maybe next time you'll be an exhibitor. Speaking of next time, somebody says, have another conference in like 6 months and I'll be there. Well, okay, so that's part of our news tonight too. Some of our special updates are tonight. We're working on the Beyond Mystic Conference 2.0. This next one is going to be in the United States. Can I say the date yet? No, I won't say the date right now, but we are looking at 2 different venues, one in Florida and one in Texas. So I'm going to be putting out a survey maybe in the next couple of weeks, and I'll have you guys vote if you prefer Texas or Florida. And we're going to have a lot of fun together also in the USA. I'm excited about that one. This Ottawa one was our first test run of it all. We're very excited right now with how things are shaping up. The venue's been nothing but positive help for us, and we're very excited to see you all guys in Ottawa. But we know that there's more, and that we're going to reach even more people in the United States when we go there. And the next one after that, by the way, is Europe. So we haven't finished doing these conferences. We want to come to you guys, and maybe eventually also Australia. A lot of people are saying we should not forget that and maybe put that on the map as well. So let us know in the live chat now if you guys want us to go to Florida, Texas, the UK, and or Australia. I'm curious. I'll take a poll later on this evening. Okay, a couple of other updates I can't forget. Sarah mentioned this. Okay, so let me go back to the conference page. So for all of you who did buy tickets, somebody was just asking me, do you still have VIP passes? Yes, I've just added just a handful tonight. These are the remaining ones that Janine and I are letting go. So if you're interested in that, please do go check it out sooner than later. And yeah, so Sarah was telling me about this one. So Meg has been helping me in the last week with our programmer. We're setting up this back end now for all the people who have tickets who are coming to Ottawa to be able to have the chance to book a reading with Janine, Penny Kelly, Meg, of course, Ashala, a sacred oils anointment ceremony with Sylvia, absolutely cool, and also a tarot reading with Jenny Moonstone, who's been recently added to the list. So we're very close now to launching that site. That's going to be, of course, on the private page. So if you already have your tickets, log in to beyondmystic.net, go to the private ticket page, and very soon you will see these come up here. We'll make another announcement for you guys, but we're almost there. And now that we've closed up, or we're closing up the ticket sales, we're going to be able to launch this part. On that note, also, because you guys were asking, and somebody else was asking in the chat, JC, can you have a table for the attendees can indicate areas of where they live so they can meet in the booth. So yeah, we can do that live at the conference. You'll have plenty of opportunity to meet people and to kind of plan out maybe other activities and to find other people who are doing conferences and stuff like that moving forward. But on top of that, many of you were asking me to create another Discord chat just for the ticket holders. A lot of you are coming from out of town. You were thinking of maybe carpooling for the airport, maybe sharing a hotel room, maybe going to dinner the night before together in group areas and all that. So I've just now created that new Discord page. And so again, if you log in to the beyondmystic.net website, if you bought a physical ticket pass, you will see now at the top of the screen a new blue Discord invite button, and it'll bring you to this new community. So you guys can share pictures and schedules and how you want to organize stuff before and during the conference also as well. So that's now available. It's live. I just launched it earlier tonight for you guys. And what else? So we did the IAP. We did the Mystic Pass. I think that's about it. The hotels, there's a few rooms left available at the hotel. I'm not sure they have any of those discounted rates left because they only had a block at that price, but they have a few rooms left. So if you're still looking to be at the same hotel as us at the Westin Hotel, again, once you buy a ticket, you'll see all the details for the hotel and the booking system on that page when you log in. The flights, of course, Ottawa Airport. You can fly into Montreal and drive, but it's a 2-hour drive. Although some people wanted to do that, they were asking Sarah about the details for that, so you can do that as well. And that's about it. Do you guys have any questions? Also, maybe about the conference? I'll give you guys the opportunity here.
JC, someone says, will the live stream be recorded?
Yes. So it's going to be live streaming for you for 3 days, but of course you might not be able to watch all 3 days all together. So it will be after that. How do you call it? Play on demand after that. So if you bought your ticket, you can watch it over and over again afterwards. And again, there's a lot of workshops in there. There's new workshops on finances, new workshops on healing, new workshops on breathing. A whole bunch of stuff, and we keep adding to the schedule here. There's more workshops on crypto. Joe is going to be there also. Jason 4, Big Swear is also going to be there. I'm in talks with 2 other guests also who are not yet on the list. We have a surprise guest also, and it just keeps on giving, guys. So there's a lot there, really. You're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of value in the streaming pass, of course, for sure. And oh, yes, Sarah wanted me to add this too. So I've secured now our entertainment for each of the nights. So the first night, of course, on the Friday night, once we've done the keynote, the gala dinner, Meg is going to be entertaining us with her Astro DJ set. I'm excited about this. I absolutely love the poster. Meg, tell us about your set. What can people expect here? And by the way, I'm creating a lounge area. It's called the Q17 Lounge. Okay, really, really cool. It's sponsored by Andy, of course, and Miles Franklin. He's really, really big on supporting this conference. I want to thank him again for that. But there's going to be chairs, high top, so you don't have to stand up and dance all night too. But you can if you want to. We'll have our dance floor and all that. We have a cool photo booth also for you guys. It's going to be absolutely wild. But Meg, tell us about your set and what's the concept here?
Well, I didn't realize, I had a total brain fart, and I didn't realize until yesterday or the day before that this is going to be the eclipse on the day of the full moon lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
The start of I knew the eclipse was in the conference, but I didn't realize that the DJ dance party was going to be that exact day. So I had this idea about 6 months ago. I downloaded that to do sorry, my niece is crying in the background. If you guys can hear a baby crying. I had this download to do dancing through the current planetary transits. So that's what we're going to do. There's going to be really cool visuals and curated DJ set by myself. And I'm so excited. And I think there's going to be a lot of dancing. Not that you guys have to dance, but I think we're just naturally going to be moving with the eclipse energy. And this conference is also a celebration. So I'm excited.
It's a big celebration. I'll show you part of the floor mat as we're designing it right now. So this is going to be the Q17 Disco Lounge, the high top table, some seating area as well, the dance floor, DJ booth with the big projector screen in the back for Meg's set. It's going to be absolutely wild. We have breakout rooms also for the workshops. We have rooms also for the one-on-one tarots. Just like it's a huge happening, guys. I'm very excited about that. Now, so that was the Friday night. The Saturday night, I'm super excited about this one here too, because I started DJing when I was 17 years old, and so did this guy. And he was my nemesis. I swear to God, I would go to these DJ competitions in Montreal, and he would always beat me. Like, not by a lot, but he would still beat me and win. And anyways, Dinoy, DJ Dan Denoyer. If you guys know this world, of course, he's very popular in Montreal. He's been on radio stations, a lot of events, and so he said yes to come to the conference, and he's going to be mixing for us on Saturday night. Going to be absolutely mind-bending, really, really cool guy. And finally, on Sunday, see if I can bring this up, we're going to have more of a disco lounge kind of vibe. So more of the disco era music, still very fun. A little bit more relaxed because, it's the last night of the conference. People have to fly out the next day, but still, it's going to be one hell of a party. Janine, I want to see you dancing.
Can I dance in Birkenstocks? Because that's all I wear now.
Of course you can. So what do you guys think about all the entertainment? That's on top. Like, that wasn't even in your ticket when you bought it. There's a big expense attached to all of these shows and the AV system that goes with it. I just wanted to make it a huge party, and it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. Yeah, woohoo, Dan Denoyer. Yeah, Dinoy, he's really good. He's really cool. And I told him the age group and what we want to do, and he's like, dude, that's my bread and butter. Like, I'm gonna kick it out of the park. I'm like, no, I don't. I have no doubt. So it's gonna be really cool. And with Dan also, we're probably gonna have some visuals in the back. We might take some of the stuff that Meg did. I'll add a few slides also. And we're going to have some live shots of the conference, of the people dancing on the big screen also. It's really going to be a full immersive experience. And of course, you guys can see this live also if you're watching us live throughout the event. So I think that's about it for all of the updates, guys. Again, please, if you're interested in being in the Woo and you're getting out of the Matrix, consider applying to have a booth there. Come and showcase your talents, your services, your products with us. If you haven't already done so, get your tickets while you still can. Only a few remaining there in every one of those categories, as well as the online streaming pass. Don't wait for that one as well. All right. Janine, how do you want to end this? You want to do a last pull? You lost your card deck.
Yeah, I lost my card deck.
Well, there's two things I want to ask.
Yeah.
I'll ask Meg first, and then I'll end with you, Janine. Meg, the concept, what we were talking about, 2025 having to go back to tribe, having to go back also in self, having more self-esteem, and putting ourselves out there in this new world. What would you see are the key astrological markers that are conducive to that are putting energy into that, when people can focus and see where that's in their chart, also to maybe use that extra energy to propel them forward? What's the astrology behind all that?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's cool because it's kind of just the natural energy that we're in right now. And I'm sure most people in our Woo community are actually open to being in person, whether it's at the Beyond Mystic Conference or other events, with Pluto now being in Aquarius. And Aquarius is the sign of community, literally conferences, networking, in-person events, the tribe. Okay, so we haven't had this transit, as we've talked about before, since the 1700s, late 1700s. Our communal tribe of humanity is strengthening over the course of the next 20 years. And also I've heard Jay Widener and Graham Hancock both talk about how 2025 is supposedly the year where we enter the age of Aquarius fully in the sidereal astrology, which shows us the greater astrological cycles. So with all this Aquarius energy, it is the natural alignment for us to be getting together in person.
Yeah. And on that note too, whether you're coming as a guest or as an exhibitor, once the booths close, of course, you're going to be able to see the keynote speeches at night, including the one from Jay Widener on alchemy. Again, using these old sacred techniques to alchemize, to change your life here as we enter this new world. So it's going to be a really, really fascinating speech for that as well on that keynote. So check that out. So Janine, Well, how do you want to end it? Do you have a specific question in mind? How do you want to recap this, or where do you want to go to end the show?
Let's just ask the universe for those coming, and even coming to the conference, and even those people that are going to be with us in spirit and or watching on the visuals, right? Because that's a lot of people. That energy's included, right? We're all going to be together, even if they're, it's just their visuals are not physically in person. There's going to be a lot of people energetically with us on that weekend, and I feel like it'll be a bigger thing than the physical people there. I just want to ask the universe what to bring there. So what are you bringing? What does the universe suggest you bring with you?
So what medicine are you bringing to the tribe?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
Wow. Okay. So this card here, so we've got the Judgment card, which is like, this is a big clout kind of card. Okay. So it's wake up and smell the coffee. So you're going to need to come with your most awake self. So you're like in the present moment, just really being in the present moment. And this card here, so we've got the 7 of Pentacles, visualizing and planting seeds, because this guy plants the seeds for his whole future. So I feel like discussing and bringing the energy of your wishes, desires for what seeds do you want to plant. So I feel like it's a really good time to put out that weekend and energetically what it is, what are you creating? Meg and I were talking about this today on the show that we did together. What are you creating and how do you want it to look? Because we're all going to be involved in the creation of that. Okay, so we're going to have to really think about that before we come and bring those intentions, almost like we're practicing for moving over, moving across the world in the future. Energetically will be read. What is our intention? What are we bringing to wherever it is we're going? So we might want to do that even in the conference. What's your intention? And bring your presence. So not the distracted selves we've been all these years and we've been taught to be, but your actual present self with an intention to visualize your future together with this tribe of yours.
Wow. That's great advice. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for receiving all of your medicine and all of your energy in the group. That'll be amazing. And you know what? There's a funny question. I thought it was a joke, but then, no, that's right. Somebody was asking, do we have to speak French? There is a lot of French in Ottawa, but I kid you not. You can go from wherever you are, come to the conference, leave the conference, go back home, and never have to speak a word of French. Everybody here speaks English. Everybody in the hospitality, the taxi drivers, the restaurants, the airports, and of course at the conference, all of our staff speak English. So no, you do not have to speak French. But if you want to say bonjour and good evening to everyone while you're there and practice a little bit, you're more than welcome to practice your French, guys. All right. But that was a good question. Some people might be worried, hey, I don't speak the language, I can't go there. But no. Ottawa is very much English. You'll have absolutely no problem. Somebody says, JC, what's the dress code for dinner? Oh, yeah. Sarah did mention that earlier tonight. So basically for the day, it's kind of business casual, be comfy. For the men, maybe wear a nice pair of jeans or pant with a nice blazer. Like don't go too crazy. For the women, the same thing during the day. Like, just don't come in shorts and, wife beater shirts. Like, it's a conference. It's professional. We want to put out a good energy. But for the evening, we're really trying to, with the gala dinners and with all the entertainment we're giving you too, dress to impress. Whatever that means to you, dress to impress. So if you want to have a gala dress, you could do that. If you guys want to be a little bit more snazzy, you could do that as well. Just have fun with it. Again, it's a huge celebration. So express yourself, be cool, and we're just excited to have you on. Of course, the way you dress and the way you present will also bring your energy level higher, right? So that's very important. I know that when I wear a nice suit, I feel a lot better about myself for some reason. I love dressing up. So, but wear sensible shoes, as Janine said, because you need to dance. Or you can bring your hard shoes and then bring a pair of flip-flops for later in the evening. That's a good pro tip for all you girls who are wearing high heels there.
Không cách nào tha thứ được nếu như gia tộc khác có thế lực ngang hàng có người đột phá thành công vũ hoàng. Như vậy thì gia tộc Cố gia lúc đó chỉ có nước ôm họa diệt vong, mà Tiểu Diệu thì lại cho ta ăn vân tiêu tử linh chi thì chẳng khác nào nàng chọn lấy con đường đoạn tuyệt với gia tộc. Đây là một sự sai lầm không thể tha thứ. Sở Dương thở dài một hơi thật sâu. Tại giờ phút này, sự miêu tả của Cố Độc Hành về Cố Diệu Linh làm hắn không khỏi liên tưởng đến Mạc Khinh Vũ. Hai người con gái này hiển nhiên rất giống nhau. Vì người mình yêu mà bất chấp tất cả, trong mắt họ, ngoại trừ người yêu ra, những thứ khác không đáng để ý tới. Ta chỉ có duy nhất một cơ hội để được nhìn nàng, và lần đó là nhờ có nghĩa phụ cho phép. Theo ta được biết, sau đó nàng đã bị áp giải đến biển Long Động. Chúng ta cách nhau bởi một tuyến từ huyền kim sách lan. Lúc đó ta khóc đến ruột gan đứt từng đoạn. Ta hỏi nàng vì sao nàng khờ khạo như vậy. Vì cái gì chứ? Vì ta chăng? Thật không đáng, quả thật không đáng. Cố Độc Hành nước mắt tuôn trào. Hắn cầm bầu rượu lên điên cuồng uống lấy uống để nước mắt và rượu pha lẫn vào nhau, chảy vào trong miệng của hắn. Sở Dương thở dài một tiếng, lặng yên cầm lấy một vò rượu đưa cho Cố Độc Hành. Dầm, đặt mạnh bầu rượu trống rỗng xuống trên bàn. Cố Độc Hành hai mắt đỏ bừng. Lúc đó Tiểu Diệu tỷ chỉ nói, kẻ ngốc, ngươi đúng là một kẻ ngốc. Nàng nói, từ lúc còn nhỏ, ta đã coi ngươi là đệ đệ và đặc biệt quý mến ngươi, cho nên có thứ gì tốt cũng đều cho ngươi. Nhưng tới lúc chúng ta trưởng thành, ta đã không còn coi ngươi là đệ đệ được nữa. Khi Tiểu Diệu tỷ nói những lời này, tim nàng trở nên đập mạnh và loạn nhịp. Nàng nhìn ta thật lâu, sau đó cười buồn nói, được rồi, người đi ra ngoài đi, không có chuyện gì cả đâu. Hiện giờ vừa vặn đúng lúc ta cần phải bế quan. Đệ đệ ngốc, người không còn nhỏ nữa rồi, cũng nên thành ra lập thất đi. Đáng tiếc là Tiểu Diệu thì không có cơ hội uống rượu mừng của ngươi nữa rồi. Đi đi, người đi đi. Sau này đừng đến đây nữa, cứ coi như ngươi chưa từng có một Tiểu Diệu tỷ này. Sau đó Tiểu Diệu tỷ liền quay người, tự mình đi vào điền Long Động. Cố Độc Hành mặt mày dữ tợn, toàn thân run lẩy bẩy. Tiểu Diệu tỷ trong lòng ta chẳng khác nào một nữ thần. Cố Độc Hành run rẩy, ta vốn thích nàng, sùng bái nàng, ta, nhưng đợi đến khi nàng đã vào điền Long Động thì ta mới phát hiện ra mình đã yêu nàng. Lời này không còn gì quan trọng hơn bằng nàng. Ta không thể không có nàng, ta không thể không có nàng à. Cố Độc Hành cầm nhẹ một tiếng rồi ngẩng đầu lên, nước mắt trên mặt tuôn rơi như mưa. Có thể nàng cả đời sẽ bị giam cầm trong điền Long Động, không thể rời khỏi vì mắc phải lỗi lầm quá lớn. Vậy rốt cuộc có cách nào hoặc phải đạt được điều kiện gì mới có thể cứu nàng ra, tìm một vân tiêu tử linh chi khác? Sở Dương ánh mắt bình tĩnh, hỏi ngược lại. Vô dụng thôi. Thái thượng đại trưởng lão nghe được tin tức này khi hắn đang ở thời khắc mấu chốt của trùng kích bình cảnh, vì thế mà tâm thần bị chấn động và thổ hết tại chỗ. Không những trùng kích thất bại mà giai vị còn bị tụt xuống, cả đời này không còn cơ hội trùng kích Vũ Hoàng được nữa. Ngoài Thái thượng đại trưởng lão ra, những người khác trong gia tộc bọn ta đều không đạt tới tầng thứ ấy. Vậy nghĩa phụ của ngươi nói sao? Nghĩa phụ cũng không có cách nào. Cố Độc Hành thẫn thờ nhìn vào khoảng không gian trước mặt, nước mắt lặng lẽ chảy dài. Ta cứ như vậy mà sống không bằng chết trong thời gian 2 năm. Trong thời gian đó, nghĩa phụ cũng an bài một số hôn sự cho ta. Sở Dương nhất thời hiểu rõ. Xem ra, vị Đằng Long kiếm vương này không chỉ là một người si kiếm mà còn là một người si tình. Dù ra sao đi chăng nữa, cho dù ta có suốt đời cô độc thì ta vẫn không có khả năng đến xin lỗi Tiểu Diệu tỷ. Cố Độc Hành cắn răng, cho nên ta liền chạy trốn. Thảo nào người này ở kiếp trước tu luyện như phát cuồng, tấn cấp nhanh như vậy nguyên do là vì hắn muốn bằng chính sức của mình trùng kích kiếm đế rồi sau đó giải cứu Cố Diệu Linh. Sở Dương tự dưng cảm thấy dầu dĩ trong lòng. Mặc dù Cố Độc Hành thiên phú nghịch thiên, tư chất tuyệt hảo, nhưng chờ đến khi hắn trở thành kiếm đế thì chỉ sợ ít nhất cũng đã 60 tuổi rồi. mà người con gái đang đau khổ dày vò tuổi trẻ ở trong điền long động kia so với hắn còn lớn hơn 1 tuổi. Rốt cuộc thì thời gian tươi đẹp nhất trong cuộc đời cả hai người cứ thế trôi qua một cách uổng phí, không thể quay trở về được nữa. Nếu muốn đưa Tiểu Diệu Tỷ ra khỏi động thì trừ phi ta đạt được cảnh giới kiếm đế. Thế nhưng đó lại là một việc khó khăn tới cỡ nào. Tiểu Diệu Tỷ năm nay đã 21 tuổi rồi. Cố Độc Hành tỏ ra tuyệt vọng. Cho dù ta có thăng tiến mạnh mẽ thì muốn đạt đến cảnh giới đó, ít nhất phải cần 30-40 năm nữa. 30-40 năm đấy, Tiểu Diệu Tỷ làm sao có thể chịu đựng được, làm sao có thể chịu đựng được đây. Sở Dương ngẩng đầu lên, trầm tư nói, chuyện này không phải là không có cách giải quyết, người có biện pháp sao? Cố Độc Hành gấp rút đứng lên, và cả người vào chiếc bàn, làm đổ mấy chén rượu trên đó, đôi mắt mở lớn đầy mong chờ. Sở Dương bình tĩnh gật đầu và nói, cứ ngồi xuống đi đã rồi hãy nói. Cố huynh, do ngươi là người trong cuộc nên ô mê không nhận ra thôi. Huynh chủ tu kiếm đạo đúng không? Nhãn lực của Sở huynh thật là tinh tường. Khuôn mặt của Cố Độc Hành lộ ra thần sắc kinh ngạc. Quả thật hắn chỉ chú trọng vào việc tu luyện kiếm đạo, còn đối với các công pháp khác thì hắn không thèm liếc mắt đọc qua dù chỉ là một lần. Làm như vậy hắn mới có thể duy trì được sự chuyên tâm, dễ dàng dùng tốc độ nhanh nhất để tấn cấp. Nhưng chuyện này từ trước đến nay mình cũng chưa nói với ai bao giờ. Người thiếu niên trước mặt này tuy có nhiều điểm đáng hân thưởng nhưng tuổi hắn còn quá trẻ, làm sao lại có nhãn lực lợi hại như thế được. Cho dù hắn có là vũ giả cấp bậc cao hơn mình đi nữa, nếu không chủ động giao chiến với mình thì làm sao hắn có thể nhìn ra được mình chủ tu kiếm đạo. Hắn làm sao mà biết được chuyện này nhỉ? Người lấy kiếm đạo làm chủ thì cần phải biết có một câu nói, kiếm tẩu thiên phong. Sở Dương mỉm cười, kiếm tẩu thiên phong tuy rằng có thể làm bị thương chính bản thân mình, nhưng một khi đã ra tay thì chính là tuyệt sát. Đúng vậy, nhưng đây là tu luyện, phải làm như thế nào mới có thể kiếm tẩu thiên phong? Cố Độc Hành nhíu mày, vắt óc suy nghĩ. Cố huynh, người đã từng giết bao nhiêu người? Sở Dương hơi nhướng mày. Giết người? Cố Độc Hành biến sắc mặt, rồi lập tức hít sâu một hơi, nói, 7 tên khốn nạn, quá ít, nhất tướng công thành vạn cốt khô. Huống hồ đây lại là con đường tu luyện nghịch thiên, nếu muốn trở thành kiếm đế thì phải dùng thời gian cả đời mà trải qua vô số gió tanh mưa máu rồi mới có thể đạt đến cảnh giới đó. Sở Dương nhướng mày, trong mắt tinh quang đại phóng. Cố Độc Hành, nếu ngươi tin tưởng ta mà giao phó toàn bộ quy trình tu luyện trong vòng 10 năm tới của ngươi cho ta chắc chắn có thể giúp ngươi trong vòng 10 năm tấn gia nhân kiếm đế. 10 năm, hai mắt Cố Độc Hành mở lớn, ánh lên những tia quang mang chói mắt. 10 năm tuy không phải là ngắn, nhưng nếu đem so với khoảng thời gian 30-40 năm thì chắc chắn là nhanh hơn nhiều lắm. Huống hồ 10 năm sau, hắn chỉ mới tầm 30 tuổi, nên cũng không lo bị chậm trễ. Chỉ có điều, việc này là sự thật sao? Sở Dương không nói gì, chỉ lặng lặng mỉm cười coi như đã cho Cố Độc Hành một câu trả lời. Ta đáp ứng. Cố Độc Hành hạ quyết tâm, chỉ cần có thể giải thoát cho Tiểu Diệu Tỷ trong thời gian ngắn nhất thì đừng nói là 10 năm, cho dù bảo ta giao cả đời này vào tay ngươi, ta cũng không chút do dự. Tốt, giao dịch hoàn thành. Sở Dương vươn tay ra, chỉ cần ngươi nghe theo ta thì trong vòng 10 năm ta sẽ giúp các ngươi được đoàn tụ, mà trong thời gian này, mong là chúng ta hợp tác vui vẻ. Ta đây hiện tại phải làm gì? Cố Độc Hành hỏi. Nếu ngươi sợ bị bại lộ thân phận thì không cần phải lo lắng, trước tiên có thể cải trang khuôn mặt một chút. Sở Dương thản nhiên nói, tiếp theo, việc ngươi cần làm là thay ta quản lý Thiên Binh Các, trông giữ mấy thanh bảo kiếm này. Giờ thì hãy ngủ một giấc thật ngon đi đã, tĩnh dưỡng tinh thần cho thật tốt. Tương lai trong vòng 10 năm tới, máu phải chảy thành sông dưới kiếm của ngươi, địch nhân của ngươi phải trải dài khắp đại lục, ngươi nhất định phải giãy giụa cầu sinh giữa ranh giới sinh tử, đột phá bản thân trong từng hiểm cảnh mới có thể đạt được cảnh giới kiếm tẩu tiên phong mà ta vừa đề cập. Đây là một con đường rất khó khăn, mà cũng không có cách nào quay đầu lại, nhưng ta tin tưởng rằng ngươi đã chuẩn bị kỹ càng để bước tới, tất cả vì người con gái mà ngươi yêu, Cố Diệu Linh. Khi nghe thấy 3 chữ Cố Diệu Linh kia thì Cố Độc Hành bất chợt nắm chặt tay lại, trong cổ phát ra thanh âm rên rỉ trầm thấp giống như dã thú bị thương. Chỉ có tự bản thân hắn mới biết mỗi khi nhắc đến cái tên này chính là đã đâm một nhát dao vào trong thâm tâm của hắn. Không có đường lui ư? Vì Tiểu Diệu tỷ thì ta còn cần gì đường lui? Sở Dương đi đến bên quầy rồi nhanh chóng lấy ra giấy bút để lên trước mặt. Sau khi suy nghĩ một lúc hắn liền bắt đầu viết ra điều gì đó lên trên giấy. Thấy vậy, Cố Độc Hành bèn chuyển động thân hình đến bên cạnh hắn, nhìn xem hắn viết cái gì. Nhưng chỉ nhìn được một lúc thì đôi mắt của Cố Độc Hành đã trợn trừng lên, hai con ngươi lồi ra ngoài giống như hai quả trứng gà. Cuồng Tôn Kiếm Quyết. Cố Độc Hành khó khăn nói ra 4 chữ ở trên giấy. Sau đó hắn lập tức ngẩng đầu lên, trên khuôn mặt lộ vẻ khó tin nhìn Sở Dương. Cái này có phải là thật hay không? Cuồng Tôn Kiếm Quyết chính là một công pháp tu luyện kiếm đạo nhanh nhất. Một khi đã vận hành thì toàn bộ thân thể lẫn tinh thần của người sử dụng phải tập trung vào đó. Nếu chưa đến một giai đoạn nhất định thì căn bản không dừng lại được. Đây cũng là một phương pháp tu luyện cực đoan nhất, hoặc là thân thể sẽ bị hủy diệt khi đạt đến cực hạn, hoặc là kiếm kỹ của mình sẽ được tăng lên một tầng nữa. Tu luyện Cuồng Tôn Kiếm Quyết thì một là có thể thành công, còn khả năng thứ hai chính là cái chết. Không, có con đường thứ ba để lựa chọn. Theo truyền thuyết mấy trăm năm trước thì bộ kiếm quyết này là do Phong Tâm Kiếm Vương sáng tạo ra. Nói là Phong Tâm nhưng kỳ thật phải gọi hắn là Thiên Tâm mới đúng. Bởi vì tất cả mọi người đều nhận định người sáng tạo ra thứ kiếm quyết như vậy tuyệt đối là một kẻ điên. Kiếm quyết này do Sở Dương trong kiếp trước giành được trong một lần đoạt bảo ở Trung Tam Thiên. Khi đó, có người đã phát hiện ra nơi chôn cất của Phong Tâm Kiếm Vương, và từ trong đó lấy ra được bộ kiếm quyết này. Nhưng sau khi trải qua nghiên cứu một thời gian dài thì người đó mới phát hiện mặc dù kiếm quyết này có thể để thăng tu vi với tốc độ cực nhanh, nhưng một khi luyện kiếm đến tầng cuối cùng thì người luyện cũng chân chính biến thành một kẻ điên. Phong Tâm Kiếm Vương cũng bởi vì tu luyện bộ kiếm quyết này đến phát điên mà chết. Vô số người có ý định sửa đổi, biến bộ kiếm quyết vô dụng đó trở thành một báu vật nhưng không ai có thể thành công. Vì vậy mà Cuồng Tôn Kiếm Quyết cũng đã bị mọi người vứt bỏ một cách không thương tiếc. Dù rằng kiếm quyết có uy lực lớn đến mấy nhưng một khi đã biến thành kẻ điên thì cũng tương